What is up everyone, and welcome to Sly Spy Gaming. If you've been following along to our channel recently, you should know that we've been covering everything Saints Row since before the reboot's release, and we have just been hit with the biggest Saints Row news since the game launched. Deep Silver Volition just released their plans for the Autumn update, which looks to be the biggest Saints Row Reboot update yet. In this video, I'll be breaking down their large update bit by bit, but if you want to check it out for yourself, feel free to head over to their official statement by checking out the description below. So to start off, they opened their update news by stating that they plan on supporting the game long term, and said that while we have preferred to be talking about roadmaps and expansions, right now we feel the focus must be on telling you how we're going to improve the Saints Row experience for all players in 2022 and beyond. They then dove into one of the biggest agenda items in the update, which will be bug fixes. If you've played Saints Row Reboot, then you know it started with bugs galore. From your character randomly becoming bald and nude, to sometimes the game just simply not starting. The developers alluded to the progress that they had made through some of their more recent hotfixes, which were in September and at launch, which helped improvements in terms of the game's playability. However, they do not plan on stopping there, as there are still various issues to be seen across the various platforms that Saints Row is played on. They went on to say that development priority is delivering improvements over new features. In keeping with that, we're going to ship our first major update in late November to pack in as many improvements and fixes as we can. What this means is that while you might not be seeing a ton of new content in this update, you will see a much more polished version of the Saints Row Reboot. They went even further into the bug fix details, saying that this November update will feature over 200 bug fixes and stability upgrades, and it will have a particular focus on challenges, overall stability, and co-op. This is a vast update in comparison to the hotfixes mentioned previously, and it looks to specifically improve the stability of the base game, as well as the co-op experience. In particular, they want to be more transparent with when co-op is and isn't possible. So for those of you who got this game to bring chaos to Santo Elisa with your buddies, there is still hope. While bug fixes will be the biggest focus of the upcoming Autumn update, the developers did mention that the upcoming update will mark the beginning of a series of quality of life changes and new features for the core game. These improvements include reduced repetition in some activities, more rewarding challenges, improved vehicle management, and revamped rumble and haptic features. According to the developers, this is just the tip of the iceberg, and are just some of the smaller changes that they believe that they can implement right away, and they plan to have more information on these improvements at a later date. Let us know in the comments below if you think that there are any improvements that you've seen that they could add to the game as well. Now let's get to what most of you have probably tuned in for, which is what is on the docket in terms of DLC and all new content for the Saints Row Reboot. We discussed this a little bit earlier in the video, but the developers' main focus seems to be more on bug fixes instead of new content. But that doesn't mean that it has all but been forgotten. In the Autumn update, they touched on a few additions that are planned before the end of the year, starting with the release of the first of a series of cosmetic packs. The first in the series will be called the Front to the Back pack, which will be free to all players. From the looks of it, the pack seems to contain clothing items for the player as well as new car cosmetics. As long as you own the game, all you have to do is go to your relevant platform and download the free DLC pack. The developers plan on releasing even more free packs this year for all the players, and some packs that will be available for purchase. The packs that will be available for purchase will be given for free to the owners of the expansion pass. While the Autumn update doesn't include many details for 2023, the developers did give us a bit of a glimpse into what the future holds for the Saints gang in 2023. Going along with their plans to support Saints Row long term, they stated that 2023 will be hugely exciting for Saints Row owners, with a raft of content including all new story content included in the expansion pass, but will also be available to buy separately, as well as free new gameplay experiences and areas of the city to explore. While their statement is relatively vague, this is definitely good news if you're a Saints Row fan, as it sounds like there are major plans in the works behind the scenes over at Deep Silver Volition. We can only hope that as 2022 progresses, we hear more about their intended updates for the future. And that just about covers the Saints Row Autumn update. While most of this was plans for the future, any update or game progression news coming out for Saints Row is good news. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button to stay up to date on all of the latest in your favorite video games. And check out some of our other content such as our guides, how-tos, and top lists. Thank you all for watching, and this is Sly Spy Gaming, signing out.